Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine, declared on Sunday that Lyman, a significant town situated in one of the 4 regions of Ukraine that Russia occupied, had been cleared of Moscow's forces. In spite of protests from Kiev in the west, Russia moved forward with the annexation of territories it had captured in Ukraine. This is the latest development in Ukraine's weeks-long counteroffensive against Moscow's invasion. Lyman's recapture marks the first Ukrainian military victory in territory the Kremlin has claimed as its own and vowed to defend with all available means. Moscow's forces tormented Lyman for weeks earlier this year before losing control. At 12:30 p.m. (9:30 Greenwich Mean Time), Lyman has been evacuated fully. "We appreciate our armed forces." In a video uploaded to social media, Zelenskyy said, "Army of Ukraine said that had entered Lyman, a vital railroad junction in the eastern part of the Donetsk area, on Saturday, causing Moscow to declare the withdrawal of its soldiers from the town in favor of more advantageous lines. At the moment, I feel driven and upbeat." After returning from near Lyman, a 33-year-old Ukrainian soldier going by the alias Smoke told AFP, "I witnessed the activity on the front line and how foreign weaponry help us take our lands back." Zelenskyy promised to retake more territory in the eastern Donbass region of the Ukraine within the next week in a video message he gave late on Saturday. Following Berlin's announcement on Sunday that 16 armored howitzer artillery systems would be delivered by Germany, Denmark, and Norway starting in 2023, more foreign weaponry were on their way to Ukraine. The 3 NATO participants had experts have cautioned that President Vladimir Putin may use nuclear weapons to defend territory as Russian losses increase, a scenario put out by a Putin ally. Ramzan Kadyrov, the head of Chechnya, stated on Saturday that once Russian soldiers were ejected from Lyman, Moscow should think about using low-yield nuclear bombs. On Friday, Putin held a lavish event in the Kremlin to commemorate the annexation of the 4 Ukrainian provinces of Donetsk, Kherson, Luhansk, and Zaporizhzhia following referendums that Kyiv and its allies had declared invalid. The annexation agreements negotiated by Putin with the Moscow-backed leaders of the 4 Ukrainian territories were recognized as legal by Russia's constitutional court on Sunday, despite criticism from the West. The State Duma, Russia's lower house of parliament, will discuss the annexation treaties on Monday, according to Duma Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin. When speaking with Zelenskyy on Sunday, French President Emmanuel Macron pledged to work on enacting fresh EU penalties against Moscow. Josep Borrell, the head of foreign policy for the European Union, claimed that Russia's annexation action rendered resolving the issue far more difficult, almost impossible. Pope Francis criticized the annexations as violations of international law and implored Putin to halt the spiral of murder and death on Sunday. The Crimean Peninsula, which Moscow annexed in 2014, can now be reached by land thanks to the 4 regions. About 20% of Ukraine is made up of the 5 regions combined. Additionally, Kiev demanded the immediate release of the director of the nuclear power facility in Zaporizhzhia, which is controlled by Moscow, denouncing the Russians' illegal imprisonment of him. As Ihor Murashov departed the plant Friday when he was detained and driven in an unknown direction, while blindfolded, Ukraine's nuclear agency Energodom has said. The International Atomic Energy Agency's chief Rafael Grossi expressed great worry about Murashov's imprisonment in a statement. According to the UN agency, Grossi is anticipated to visit Kyiv and Moscow next week. Europe's largest nuclear energy station, Zaporizhzhia, has been the focus of tensions as Moscow and Kyiv accuse one another of attacking the plant and the area around it, sparking worries of an atomic calamity. After the annexations, Washington imposed tough, additional sanctions on Russian government officials in the defense sector, and it stated that the G7 allies favor putting costs on any country that supports annexation. Zelenskyy pleaded with NATO, the military
watching the channel to
organization
keep
dominated
yourself
by the US,
updated to the
to grant
newest
his nation
projects.
fast-track membership. As long as Putin is in charge, he also swore never